Hey there, it's Catherine Chess, your nutritionist and joyful living coach. And oh, have I got a delicious treat for you today. We're making cashew lentil burgers. Oh, these are some of my favorite. Let me just show you how quick and easy they come together. I've chopped up some cashews. The cashews give you tons of protein. I'm going to throw these in to brown them up. I have a little bit of oil in here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you how to cut up an onion. So you put one onion in. And the easiest way to cut an onion is you take off the peel, which is just simple and easy. So I like to take off this outer layer and just get rid of it, okay? And then now for this dish, you don't need to do anything special. I'm just cutting these into little wedges. This is actually my favorite way to do it. You've got to really watch your fingers. Okay, so that's why I'm looking down. And then you just turn it the opposite way and chop, 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 chop. But they don't have to be in really small pieces because we're going to put this in the food processor. But if you don't have a food processor, you can make this dish lickety-split. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the other half. The recipe calls for one small onion. So I'm just chopping the onion in small slices, and then I'm going to turn the onion the opposite way. This one got a little cattywampus, so no worries. I just line it back up, and then I chop up the onion and chop it the other way, and then I'm going to throw this all in with the cashews, just to make this dish super duper simple. Now, why a lentil burger? Sometimes you just don't want to eat as much meat, right? Or maybe you're a vegetarian, but lentil burgers are a great way to go. Now you could make lentils. Ooh, doesn't this smell good? You know, it's all about the seasonings. You could make lentils yourself, but I actually like to buy a canned lentil. Then we're going to let that simmer, and we're going to chop up some garlic. So this is a fun trick that I've discovered to get that peel off the garlic. These garlics, it's really hard to pull the peel off. So I just chop off both sides. Today we're using 4 cloves of garlic. I'm making an extra big batch, so it's more than the recipe that you'll have calls for. So got the clove out. But you can just get the clove out by pounding the side of the garlic with your knife. So let me show you that with another clove. You chop off the ends, press it away, and then use the side of the knife, and you pound with the palm of your hand to just get a nice little garlic clove. And I'm just going to line these cloves up. Like I said, I'm using 4 of them. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use 5 just because I have them. And oh my gosh, garlic. So these burgers are all about the seasonings. The seasonings let this throw it together so quick, so easy, and that's what makes it taste delicious. But I really want to show you how quickly I'm going to chop these up. Seriously, you can prep this dish in about 10 to 15 minutes, and it's so, so good. And then they bake for about 30 minutes, and we're going to have yummy cashew lentil burgers, okay? So I've got all of the garlic cloves peeled, simple and easy. I bring them into a stack, and I like to just count in my head how many times I chop these up, about 50 times. So I'm going to chop. So why would we eat a lentil burger? Oh my gosh. Why would we eat a lentil burger? Number one, why wouldn't we? Now, when you eat meat all the time, it's delicious, and a lot of us are paleo, but, you know, it's not that good for the environment, and it's nice to have a variety. Your body loves so many different nutrients, so I'm just going to throw all this garlic in my pan, and I'm going to let this simmer. But while it simmers, I'm going to put about 5 tablespoons of curry powder in the mix. And then I'm going to throw some salt in. Yum, yum, yum. We want to get enough salt. So many of us are worried about salt. but you really don't have to be. Doctors will tell you, but if you're eating a super clean, healthy diet, it is so easy to just put the amount of salt that you want. And actually, a lot of us have adrenal fatigue. If you've got adrenal fatigue, well, those little beautiful adrenals, they're your batteries. They're the batteries in your body that keep you healthy and whole. And when your adrenals are fatigued, what happens? You lose your energy. You just kind of are lethargic. You don't feel good. So with your adrenals love, love, love salt. Now we're going to use my Breville food processor to pull this together. But again, if you don't have a food processor, you can just mash it. So we're going to put in, just opening this up, and we're going to put in some lentils. So if you buy canned lentils, make sure they're organic and make sure they're BPA free. That's bisphenol A free. So I'm just going to put in the lentils, and these are black, and I'm going to put in 2 cans of red lentils. So this is going to be a delicious, delicious treat. But as you can see, this is going together fast, easy, and actually, this is kind of fun, right? And we're going to stir our onions again. We're going to, they're so fragrant. Oh man, the smells are through my kitchen. You are going to love this. I'm putting in some mushrooms. What's nice is you don't even have to chop the mushrooms. I just buy these little halves of mushrooms. They're already sliced, but you don't have to chop them when you're putting in your food processor. But if you're not, just mash everything together, and then this is cooked down. So I'm going to put this mixture of onions and lentils. It's all going in the food processor as well. And we're just going to blend it. We're going to blend it to a really nice consistency. And the last thing we're going to add to this mixture is we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats, just to bind it all together. So I have my oats back here. Just want to make sure you're using gluten-free oats, because if you're not using gluten-free oats, you're getting some gluten in your gut, and you really don't want to get gluten in your body. Gluten, it has been such a challenge for so many of us. It's really funny. If you start going gluten-free and then you go back to gluten, you'll see how gluten can really challenge you. So now I'm just going to blend this up. Here we go. There it goes. Just get it all blended. I'm going to add a little water. Purified water, just a tiny bit, and presto, it's done. So in order to shape my burgers, I use these. These are actually made for eggs, but I use them for my burgers. So I'm just going to open this up. You saw how quickly we just processed it. I highly recommend a food processor. This is a Breville. Love, love, love it. So I'm just going to take out a little bit of this mixture. It's pretty saucy. And when you make this, I recommend that on your pan, you use parchment paper. Parchment paper is so easy for cleanup, and I'm just putting a little bit of this mixture into each one of these little egg rounds so we can get some really nice, smooth, beautiful, and even burgers. These are better than the burgers at the store, okay? So I'm going to do a couple more. I'm just opening these up. I actually got these at the dollar store. So these cost, one package costs $1. But you can get them online. You can get them anywhere. They're made for eggs, but they work really great for burgers. So I'm just throwing these in, smoothing out the top. Smell this. It smells so good. And if you want, you can keep the onion and the cashew mixture in the pan a little bit longer if you want that more roasted taste. But I'm in a hurry today. Like I said, I get pretty hangry. So I'm just going to throw all this in. And now I'm going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. They'll get hard, they'll get firm, and you'll see how delicious they're going to be. So I'll see you when I come back with the finished product. But they are delish. See you soon. Hey there, I'm back to show you how great these burgers turned out. So let's get started. Check out these yummy burgers. Okay, the burgers, they spread out on the parchment paper. So if you want your burgers like tight and contained, just keep them in the little egg holders and you'll be good to go. But look how delicious these are. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. You'll never want a bun again. These are going to be so good. So we're just going to use some red lettuce that I've chopped up. Then I'm going to use one of the burgers and I'm setting it inside. And what I'd like you to do is really contain the vegetables in each area because they're so much prettier. First, I'm going to put on some butternut squash. Butternut squash is so delicious and so good for you, but this was really easy. Sometimes you have to, with butternut squash, you have to do a lot of cutting, chopping, and it can be a real hassle, but this wasn't, because I'll show you what I did. I went and got frozen butternut squash, and all I did was fry it in a little frying pan for about 3 minutes and got it to just get a little crispy, you can see, right? So then we're gonna put some avocado on our salad, and you can see I'm making everything a little contained. When you savor your food, you can savor your life. And the more beautiful your food, the more yummy it looks, the more yummy it tastes, the better you're gonna eat it. And your inner guide inside your body knows that it's healthy, knows that it's looking pretty. Got to look at your food, really savor your food. Next, I'm going to put on some tomatoes, and I just chopped all of these up. They came together really easy. The next ingredient is some red cabbage. You can see how everything's organized and beautiful. And then I'm going to put on some peas. The reason we use peas is because they're so good for estrogen levels. They balance women's estrogens, they harmonize your hormones, and actually they taste really, really good. So, and the last ingredient, which is my favorite, I love cilantro. Cilantro is so incredibly detoxifying. Doesn't that look fabulous? But of course we need a little bit of dressing. And you never, ever, ever want to use a bottled dressing. Canned, too many chemicals, too many preservatives. So I'm going to throw together a really easy dressing. This is a balsamic vinegar. This is actually Lucchini's, which I absolutely love. We all know olive oil and balsamic vinegar. This, I'm throwing in some olive oil. Pretty standard, right? But just to make it more creamy and delicious, I throw in some tahini, some organic tahini. So I'm going to put that in now. And I'm going to mix up. You can see as I mix it, I just let the big blob of tahini, I let it dissolve in with the balsamic vinegar and the olive oil. And then I'm just going to mix all this up. Mix. And once you get it to a really nice salad dressing consistency, you'll just drizzle it over the plate. Seriously, I baked the burgers at about 350 for about 25 minutes. And when I took them out, they were perfect, ready to go. And to put all the rest of this together, well, they were baking. I chopped. So that took about 5 to 10 minutes. And you can store all these. You can freeze the burgers, and then you can have them anytime you want. And you can make big batches, big quantities. Look at this dressing. It is so amazing. And I'm just drizzling it over our salad. Just a few little drizzles. Hey, this is so much better than fast food, right? Check it out. Enjoy. And all of this is part of my 3 Months to Thrive program. There are so many recipes that they'll make your heart sing and the heart spin. And if you want more of this, jump on over to my website. Check out my programs. I love to make videos for you and show you how easily you can make yummy, healthy food. You know, one of my clients the other day was saying, I don't have time to cook, but she was eating a lot of fast food. The time it takes to go to the fast food restaurant is the time that it would take to cook this recipe. Unless it was, of course, across the street. But you really can make yummy, healthy, delicious food for your beautiful temple and then start loving this beautiful body because you are so worth feeding you amazing, delicious food. Enjoy the process. I'm Catherine Chess, your nutritionist and joyful living coach.